Welcome back, everyone. Let's explore some BARD travel extensions, including flights, hotels, and maps. Okay, so here I am back in BARD. And remember, we have a couple of extensions that are distinctly suited well for travel, like Google Flights, hotels, and even Google Maps to do something like answer questions of what you can do at your destination or where you're currently located, directions, that sort of thing. And I will say, out of the extensions, flights, hotels, and maps tend to work really well without you needing to call them. Remember, you can always directly introduce BARD to the extension by saying at and then the name of the extension, like at flights and then direct BARD to use that extension. But in our case, I could just do something that is relevant to the extension, and BARD is pretty smart in order to choose the correct extension. For example, I can say, I want to spend the 4th of July weekend in San Diego. What flights are there from San Francisco to San Diego for that weekend? Note that I'm actually not even being specific as far as my departure date and my arrival date, but I can always hone that in and say, oh, choose, 3rd of July to leave and then come back, the 7th of July. So notice that it automatically used Google Flights for me. So that's the extension being done there. And I can take a look here at a list. So some departing flights, I can also see it as a table. And there's always going to be a link for your search in Google Flights. So if I just click on this and go to Google Flights here, this will always be available as well when it uses that flight extension. You can see it's pretty much just doing a Google Flight search for you. But what's cool about this is you can continue on the conversation. So for example, can you show me some hotels for that trip? Let's say that are luxury. I don't mind spending more than, let's say, I don't know, $250 a night. So I'm talking about hotels. I'm in the context of a travel conversation. BARD, again, is smart enough to realize I'll use the Google Hotels search here. And then I scroll down, I can see some luxury hotels here, their prices as well, and it gives me a link to all of them with Google Hotels. And I can always keep the conversation going as well. For example, let's say I am interested in Paradise Point Resort and Spa, but I'm not sure how far away it is from the airport. I can do something like, how long is the, let's say, taxi drive from Paradise Point Resorts and Spa from the San Diego airport? Question mark. And so I'm asking about a distance between 2 points. It realizes you should use Google Maps for this. It tells me it's approximately 17 minutes, and I can see the directions right here from the airport in San Diego to that particular resort. So super powerful features here, and notice that I did not need to specify at flights or at hotels or at Google Maps. If you are having a conversation with BARD and it's not using flights or hotels when you do want it to, you can always specify that particular extension. So for example, I always have the option to say at and then Google Flights here and say, show me a table of flights leaving one way from San Francisco to New York City. Oh, I don't know, we'll say tomorrow. Whoops, I spelled tomorrow incorrectly, but it should be fine with that. So notice it should be able to be smart enough to deal with typos as well, because it's basically taking this and transforming it into a API search via Google Flights. So you can see it's showing me the flights, and then it shows me the table as well. And I believe I asked for a table, so it organized it in that way. Perfect. Okay, that's it for the travel extensions. Again, they're really easy to use in conjunction with one another, and you don't necessarily need to specify them. We'll see you at the next lecture.